Hello, this is Jess, and I'll be. We're here involved with chat session number 19, November 19th, 2017, and we're going to go right into the tidbits of history for this date. We're going to go back to 1863. At the dedication of a military cemetery at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, during the American Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln delivers one of the most memorable speeches in American history. In just 272 words, Lincoln brilliantly and movingly reminded a war-weary public why the Union had to fight and win the Civil War. This was his stirring conclusion. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to the cause for which they gave their last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. It is thought by many today to be the most eloquent articulation of the democratic vision ever written. 45,000 men were killed, injured, or went missing over the course of 3 days at the Battle of Gettysburg. Wow. That was a wild time for our country, and hopefully it was one that would advance the quality that the whole thing was fought for, freedom of individuals from being bound by slavery to equality for each other. And fortunately, we still have these kinds of issues today. Not necessarily the slavery ownership by one human to another, but by the people around that judge each other by their color of their skin, by who they are, where they descended from. I think it's all something that should have gone away by now, but unfortunately we have the politics of our society resurfacing these ideals of one person or one race is superior to another. I hope that one day we can all put all that aside and just move forward in creating a better society for us to live in, without all the judgments and stereotypes that have made this race issue linger. All those people died, brothers and sisters fighting each other back in the Civil War, families torn apart by beliefs of one side being right over the other. I mean, you can't erase those you just can't erase the things that happened in the past. But I think it would be due time here in 2017 to realize that we should all respect each other, regardless of our skin colors and our beliefs and instead remember what the United States was based on. You know, freedom from persecution and equality. So anyway, that's on that little bit of tidbit of history. Now we're going to go to 2003, a totally different kind of story. On this date in 2003, an embattled Michael Jackson prepared to face criminal charges when a warrant was issued for his arrest on charges of child molestation. Though he was acquitted 2 years later of each criminal count on which he was tried, the erstwhile king of pop suffered many blows to his already damaged reputation and finances while facing the charges filed on this day in 2003. It was exactly 1 year prior, November 19th, 2002, where the news captured Jackson hanging his child over the balcony, holding with his hands, holding his child over the balcony, and that caused all kinds of people to wonder what kind of person Michael Jackson really was. He had a place that he built that was like an amusement park slash home slash stuff for children, and there was actually a movie made about living with Michael Jackson, and Michael Jackson fully cooperated in the making of it, but it was turned out that's what would bring the charges in 2003 on this date, because he told the stories of having the children come and sleep in his bed with him when they would stay at his place, and apparently one of the mothers filed a criminal charge saying that Michael Jackson had molested their children, and one of them was a cancer patient, and that's why they went there. You know, he wanted people to come there, the children to come there and have a good time. But apparently from this movie that was made, it brought out all this information, and people, examined the situation and decided they should prosecute him, and he did get a warrant for his arrest, and he faced all those charges. After the court session was over, he moved away out of the United States, and lived outside the United States after that, and his reputation of what was placed on him, his reputation was damaged, and he lost a lot of money, lost his land with the house and all the different stuff, the amusement park that where he had all these kids over and stuff. So Michael Jackson might have been a musical genius, but if he had done these things as he was accused, that's horrible. But through our court system and our judicial system, he was acquitted. But it doesn't mean he didn't do it. And I'm not going to go into the details of did he or not. The courts, said he didn't. So we go with that. But it sure is a shame, because he was I thought he was a brilliant performer, entertainer, and that's sad that something like this was performed by him, or tied to him, so sort of ruins things. Well, we went on with this. That was two long bits of history on this date, November 19th. This is 2017. And we talked about 1863 and 2003, respectively. All right, it's a Sunday evening. It's getting ready to be midnight. So once again, I barely got this chat session in on time before midnight, but I did make it, so that makes 19 in a row. The reason there is no music is because I don't have the copyright permission, and I received all kinds of notices from YouTube concerning copyright infringement complaints on me. So I can't use music until I figure out a way to get a blanket permission or individual permission of music that is played on my videos. So anyway, we're going to end this chat session like we always do, and we're going to end it like this: be truthful, be happy, and let's look out for each other, okay? This is Jess, chat session number 19. Have a great Sunday evening, early Monday morning, and see you on the flip side of chat session number 20 if we get there. Have a great day.